Good morning, crafters. Welcome to our Christmas YouTube hop. And I'm so excited to see what some of the other designers are going to be doing, and I hope you're as excited as I am. And so there are a few things that I just want to talk about before I get into what the project is for my video today. First of all, there are going to be several prizes that are going to be given away by Country Craft Creations. It's not sponsored by YouTube, but it's sponsored by Tamara Store, and those prizes are listed below. And for that, all you need to do is to comment on this video and the other designer videos. And for every time that you comment on those videos, you get your name entered into the drawing. And so it will be off of the comments from the original videos that get put up. Some designers may have other videos that finish off their projects or for finalizing on their projects, but it's for the first ones that go up on Friday. It is for USA residents only. And the other thing is that the prizes or names will be drawn on August 31st, and then will get posted, I believe, that day or as soon as possible on that day. The other thing is that, okay, sorry about that. I had to, I'm doing this early in the morning and my alarm went off on my phone. So hopefully I've cut that out so you don't have to hear that. But just talking about the prizes, and also I wanted to let you know that I am going to be giving away a prize as well. And it is going to be a complete collection, or not a complete, but almost complete collection of a G45 paper collection, and I will show you that later on in the video. And but for my giveaway, which is not sponsored by YouTube or sponsored by Country Craft Creations, it is my own giveaway. I am going to give you two phrases for you to put into your comments below my video. And those comments I will give you throughout the video. So I'll give it to you one point and then at another point. And just put that into the comments after you're done watching the video, and you will be entered into that drawing for that G45 collection, and it's a new collection. So I will again show you what those items are a little bit later on into this tutorial. So let's do a walkthrough to begin with. This is the initial design of my folio or my album, and this is something that was new to me. It's called a Never Ending mini album, and it is made with envelopes and with cards. So let's take a look at it. This one is made out of Photoplays. Christmas Memories, I believe, is the name of the collection. But for that, I'm also going to be doing a new tutorial using new papers that are from Cartabella, and it's a brand new collection from Cartabella. It's called Home for Christmas, and we'll finish off another album with this paper. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time talking today. I apologize. So let's get into it. First of all, the cover is here. It is 5 by 7. I used some ribbon for the closure. You don't need or have to have a ribbon for the closure because it actually stays closed pretty well all on its own. And there is no spine on this really. It's just where the envelopes connect together. And this is the back of the album. And we'll see the rest of that as we go through. So on the front of here, what I wanted to do is to keep this very, very flat because of the Wandering album itself. I just used a mini slimline die right here in order to give me my frames. I used some of the stickers. I cut out some of the branches from some die cuts that I had, or dies that I have in my stash, and then I used some little red heart stickers that I had in my stash as well for the berries on the album. And you can use whatever you'd like on this. You can use some red gems, you could use some stickles, some Nuvo drops, whatever you have that works well for you. You're going to find that through this album I used a lot of the stickers. I wanted to make this album so that it was as easy and as quick as possible so that it could be a great album for gift giving. So as far as opening up the cover, we come into the beginning part of this album, and I just have a mat here. I've used one of the stickers on here. I just used some of my dies to make an area in here where you could put another sticker. You could put comments about the pictures. I used G45 tags throughout here. I left this blank so that there's a spot for the pictures, and a picture could also go in here. For these ribbons, this ribbon is from Country Craft Creations. I put the ribbons on here and I glued a little bit underneath there so that they don't come off easily. And then I also used some fray check on the ends so that the ribbons don't fray. Then this just turns over into another page. And in this page, I have a little booklet that this opens up. So you can put 2 pictures in there. Just some decoration along there as well. And these are just the stickers. I used a gold sticker. It's a, oh my gosh, I can't even think of the name of it. It's from my stash, but if you don't have something that you can use as a gold sticker through here, what you can do is cut a piece of, glitter paper, gold paper, and put it down instead of using something like that as a sticker. Then as we go over to this page, we have a pocket in here with another one of the G45 tags. As you can see, I was running a little bit out of paper, but I just paper pieced a few of these together, and what I did is I put it on some thin paper, glued it down, and then cut it out with my die. And again, I left that plain on the back. Now here is where we have the cards that we have for the inserts. So in here I have a mat, then I've got 2 other mats with one of the stickers, and this also comes out so that we have a full booklet in here. Got another mat for pictures. I've used some stickers here, and then on the back I just matted it with a solid piece of cardstock from Country Craft Creations and used 3 of the stickers along there, and then a piece of the gold paper to divide that. And then this just fits back in to the inside there, easily goes in. And then this section is probably one of the thicker sections of it because this goes over, and you'll see this is where you're going to have your cards going in, and this is actually where the rest of it glued together. I had thought about putting something on here, but because I didn't really want to bring attention to it, I left it just as it is, a little bit thicker, but that goes around like that. And then we have another card in here, and on this card, what I did is I have a belly band with one of the stickers down here, and with the sticker, I put that onto some paper and have that there for a tab for my tag. And again, that's plain on the back. And a belly band on here. And actually with this, I was running out of my paper as well. if you could see this, I ended up actually cutting these pieces of paper from or taking them from my scraps, and there's actually an opening in between here, and that's part of the reason why I put the belly band in there, because I didn't have one continuous piece out of my collection. So I just utilized the paper that I did have. And then to the inside of this, there's room for a picture on here. There is a mat on here, and then there's also a tag down here so that you can label it, put a little bit of journaling there. I put one of the stickers just straight down onto that piece of patterned paper and just matted it that way. And we've got our stickers on this side as well. And then on the back of here, what I ended up doing was using the stickers to make a little bit of decoration, and then there's room for any of the pictures in there. So the other thing that I just want to note is giving yourself enough room and keeping your embellishments flat enough so that they easily go in and out of the album. Then onto this page, I did a little bit different. I have the gold divider in here, paper. And again, this is part of the reason why I did this was because this is the size of the piece that I had left over from what I had cut. I have a sticker on here. And then if we go into here, this opens up, and this opens up this way so we can put pictures in there. And then this opens up like that, so there's a few more pictures in there. And there is a magnet in here to keep that down. Then if we turn this over, we've got another tag in here with Merry Christmas. We've got an angled pocket. And we come to this next piece where there's another card in that pocket. This is just plainly matted with the designer paper. We've got on this card, we've got it matted up here with one of the stickers and another piece of the paper here and our gold divider in there. Then if we open this up, I have a tag that I put in here. I put some of the stickers down on the cardstock, sticker onto this area of the cardstock, and then on the back, I just collaged some pieces so that I could put smaller pictures on the back of here, and also use some stickers to decorate that. And again, this just easily goes into, as I say that, easily goes into our pocket. It does easily go in. It's just because I'm just talking on the video that it's not. You know, that's usually what happens, is that they always do that. So then when we go to the next section, this goes around like this. And our ribbon actually just has to go off that way because we're at our back. Then this actually opens up, and we've got another section in here. And we've got a cut apart with a tag for journaling on the bottom. I then also made 2 ornaments in here, and we can froof up those ribbons. Put the gold paper for our ornament strings, and we can put a round picture on here, or it can be decorated, whatever you choose to do, but I thought it was a nice element in the book. And then if we go over on this page, we again have one of the G45 tags. It's blank on the back. And we've got a nice size pocket here with one of the stickers. I also dual matted this with pieces of the leftover collection. And we've got another card here. So with this card, it is decorated with a stopper here. I forgot to put a tag in there, but that's where a tag would go, or a cut apart could go on there. And this is another card. This can lift out. And on the inside of this, we use some of the stickers here, stickers down here, matting. And then on the back of here, I took a die cut from my stash and added a couple of the stickers, and then can put some small pictures down here, or this could be used as a journaling spot, whatever you would prefer. On this side here, there is room for a picture going down here and a smaller picture here. I did not lift these up this time because I really wanted to make this more of an easy album and not a lot of fussy cutting on it. So I thought that this would be just fine to for a picture, and then some journaling could be down here, and or maybe a smaller picture put down there. So this goes back in to our album like that, and that closes up, and then this comes around and we are back to the front of our mini album. Now the construction of this is very, very simple. It is basically some khaki cardstock envelopes, craft, and so we're going to be making this with craft cards and craft envelopes, and we will talk about that construction in just a minute. So I hope you enjoyed looking at this album, and I will have more information for you in a little bit in the tutorial. Thanks very much. Hey crafters, so this is going to be my prize package for this YouTube hop, or this video. There will be one winner of this prize package. This is the G45 new Halloween collection. It's called Midnight Tales. I'm not a Halloween person, and I get the G45 kits, so I decided this would be a great kit to give away as a prize for this hop, because Halloween is coming up and most people are fans of Halloween. So there are ephemera cards, and those are all the ephemera cards that are in the packet. And then there are some die cuts, and those are the die cuts that are in there. For time's sake, I am not going to go through these packets of the collection, or the papers of the collection. You can take a look at that online, because like I said, this is a new collection. So this is the 8x8. There's also chipboard pieces for it. And then there is the 12x12 collection pack that is got the stickers in the back. And this is going to somebody in the USA only. I'm sorry about that, any international watchers. And what I am going to do is I'm going to give you two phrases, one probably longer than the other, and I want you to put it down in the comments as a statement, and you'll understand when you get the phrases, or when you hear the phrases. So one of the best things to do is to subscribe to my channel, like the channel, or like the video, and you could then be eligible to win this prize package if you have those two phrases, or the combination phrase in the comment section of the video. It's not required to subscribe to the video, or you have to like or whatever, but it is required to watch through the video so that you can get the phrases to comment down below. And I will be doing a random drawing. It'll be done on the 31st or the 1st, depending upon my schedule. So this is what the prize package is. This is well over $50 worth of product here, and I will pay shipping for this package to go out as well. So good luck everyone, and be sure to comment down below when you get the phrases, and also visit the other YouTubers that are going to be on for Country Craft Creations. So let's get started with working on this mini album. Oh, I forgot, sorry guys. I also have some of the G45 bags that the products came in, so I'm going to also put them in those bags so that they won't nothing will get wet or damaged in the shipping. So, okay, back to the tutorial. Sorry about that. On this, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on the basic construction, and then we may work on a couple of the pages or a couple different items in here, and so that the video doesn't get overly long, because I'd like you to have an opportunity to watch some of the other videos, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I will then post the final walkthrough with my collection that I'm going to be using, which is the Cartabella collection, Home for Christmas. I got this apart as a design team package from Country Craft Creations. And so I'm going to use this collection along with the stickers that I've been given with the collection. I will probably also use some of the artisan cardstock. I believe I'm going to use the green artisan cardstock this time, along with the khaki, of course, because there's khaki envelopes. For the envelopes to make this album, it is completely up to you on which envelopes and cards that you would like to use. I bought a bunch of cards and things off of Amazon, and there is a difference in these from the original folio I made. The ones that I had were actually ones that were just left in my stash. Ooh, everything's falling over here. And I think it was a Michael's or Hobby Lobby, or I don't know honestly where I got them, but it was a Park Lane, and these were 5x7 cards and envelopes. And I don't have enough to do this next album, so I picked up some other ones from Amazon. The thing that I want to encourage you to do is the envelopes themselves are the same measurement. The envelopes are, they are 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, and that's what the envelopes were in my other set of cards. But my cards were an exact 5x7 with my other set. This one is 4 7/8 by 6 7/8, almost 7. So my measurements that I wrote down for this is going to be probably a little bit different. And basically what I do when I'm cutting cardstock for my albums is that I make it 1/8 of an inch smaller, so that I have 1/16 of an inch around the sides. So the thing that I'm going to encourage you is, while I can give you measurements for the items that I'm doing, the true measurements are really going to have to be done by you based upon the size of your cards or the size of your envelopes. You can adjust any of that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and first of all pull out 6 envelopes, and we're going to put it into groups of 2. So what we are going to do, we're going to start off by taking these envelopes, and these are self-sealing envelopes. You can leave that on, you can take it off, whatever you're most comfortable with. And so what we're going to do is start off by gluing these two together, and we are going to glue them together so that this is actually going to be a hinge for our album. So let's just go ahead and get our glue on here. And we're just going to match these up. And it's important to try to get them as flat and as straight as you can, up and down, so that you have an even folio or even book as you go. All right, so let's get these other ones. And actually, I think I'm just going to, let me do this first. And I just used my art glitter glue for all of these. And the biggest thing is just making sure I don't put too much on here so that it seeps over too far, and or it just, so that it doesn't end up marking up the the page or the envelopes too much. Ooh, I just cut my finger. Sharp paper. So really, there we go. That's the second one. And then we'll do this third one. So one of the things that's really nice about this album is that it goes together very, very quickly, very easy. And even the decorating part of it is something that goes together very fast, very easy. It depends upon how much designer paper that you have, or how much paper you have in the collection. You could go along with this and you could just cut all of your cardstock based upon what you've got here. So the envelopes are 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. So what I would be doing is, if I was just going to lay the cardstock down onto here on the envelopes, I would make my cuts then to be 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. I'm sorry. Gosh, holy cow. I would make my cuts 5 1/8 by 7 1/8, and that would give me the 1/16 of an inch all the way around. So that would be what I would do for any of the pages that are like this if I wanted to do just a straight matting. If I didn't want to do a combo matting or pockets or things like that. And that actually can work very well for this type of an album, because if you want to make it a fast, simple album, just matting it all down. And basically, from the album that I have right here that I did, I actually used, in the original thing that I had seen one time, they used 6 envelopes and 6 cards. But I used actually 6 envelopes and 7 cards. So you can add an additional card or 2 onto your book, depending upon what else you want to add, because the beauty of this is that it's really expandable. And I mean, I wouldn't put any big flowers or anything into it, but you have a lot of room. It's kind of a nice little chunky book that is, you know, that is really nice put together. So what I was going to share with you is, where did I put that? I did a count on here. Okay, so when I counted for the envelope pages, including the front cover, there was approximately eight sheets I would need to make of 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. Cut to 5 1/8 by 7 1/8. So my designer paper would be 5 1/8 by 7 1/8, and that cut of the designer paper would cover these areas just flat out without the extra pieces. Now, the pieces that would cover these cards, if I was doing it as a page or if I was doing it as an insert, there actually was 5, 10, 15, 22 of those pages. And that cut for me would have been one thing versus what this is. This card that I'm using, because it's 4 7/8 by 6 7/8, this would end up being 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. That's what I would cut for that. So again, straight out, no pockets, no flaps, no belly bands, nothing on the pages. If I did that, it'd be approximately 22 cuts to my paper. But you can see that there's so many of them for that cut that was the reason why I didn't do just straight cutting on my book. I did a few different things. So take note of those sizes. I will write the measurements down below, and I'm going to do the measurements in the description box. I am going to do it for a 5 by 7 card and a 5 1/4 by 7 1/4 envelope, because that is a standard size. I just think that this is a foreign made batch of cards and envelopes, and that's why I'm off. So let's get this attached together. And when we put this together, what we are going to do is this is our front one, and we want to connect it to our second one. So what we are going to do is we are going to take this and put it together like this. Oh, I'm sorry, one other thing I forgot. We are going to do, in order to have pockets for my cards, we are going to, if you see where your hinge is right here, we are going to close that, and we are going to cut off about 1/16 of an inch on this envelope so that we can open up that side. Now, if your cutter is strong enough to cut through both at a time, then go ahead and do that. If not, then do one envelope at a time. Most of the guillotine trimmers are able to do that. So you see how we've got those two ends open. Okay, so let's do that with 3 of our envelopes here. Make sure I've got this straight. And depending upon how much you cut off this, it could change your paper sizing a little bit more as well, but you're better off to cut it just a little bit bigger, so then if you have to go back, you can go back and just cut off a hair of the designer paper or a hair of your cardstock, and you're not leaving, you know, if you cut it too short, you can't ever put it back on, really. You've got to do other things. So it's better off if you can cut it back a little, or leave it bigger and then cut it back. All right, so now we've got that all done. Sorry about that. So we're here. We've got our hinge right up here. We've got our other page right here. And we are going to take this one where this spine is there, and we are going to put it underneath this. And what we are going to do is go ahead and glue this together. So we are going to go ahead and put glue all over the back of this, and we are going to line it all up so that it matches side to side, end to end. And just remember, with your art glitter glue, you don't need a ton of glue for it to stick down. Now, if you want to have a little bit more time for wiggle room and things like that, then put a little bit more art glitter glue down, because it'll give you a little bit more time for it to glue down so that it dries, so that it doesn't dry so fast. So what we've got here is, oh, there we go. So we've got these two put together. I do have this one, this one is a little bit off from that. I think I'm just gonna pull it off. I thought I had it even. I did on this side, but I didn't on the front side. And I think that's going to make a difference. So I'm just going to re-glue this to make sure I look at all sides. See, if you get it quick enough, you can take it off with the art glitter glue. But the good thing is that it does dry quickly. The bad thing is that it dries quickly. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Jeez. Sometimes the easiest thing is the hardest part of the project. Not that it's hard, it's just doesn't line up the way you want it to line up. I don't know if these envelopes are uneven or if it's just me that's uneven. Nope, the envelopes are a bit uneven. That's my problem. Okay. Hallelujah, it's not me. It's the envelopes. I didn't have this much problem with my other one. And this time if I put it on and it's a little bit off, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go with it because it will just look like it's a little bit off because of the fact that the way that we're cutting and putting this together. So I'm just going to let it be. There we go. See, it's a little bit off. It's just going to be, and I'm just going to deal with it. Sometimes I have to let those perfectionist tendencies go. There we go. So as you can see, we have this set up like this. We've got a hinge here. We've got a hinge here. So I'm going to open this up. And my hinge, I'm making sure I'm keeping this as my front cover. I have a hinge. I have this page. This is where the thickness comes in. And we have this hinge here. So what we want to do is spread this out so that it looks, we can add another page to it. And so what we're going to be doing, this is going to go to the back. And we are going to add another envelope duo to the front of this. So we are going to add this right onto here. And that will be our last spot, booklet that we put onto here. So that hinge will be towards the top or facing upward. Alrighty. So when I put this in, I'm going to make sure that's even as I can get it all the way around. All right. So then what we've got here is we've got our two hinges up here. So what we want to do is we want to take our cards and we want to put those onto our hinges. So one thing that's going to happen, because our cards are not as large as the envelopes or as long as the envelopes, I just want to make sure that I'm centering them in there properly and making sure that they fit on there in an even fashion. You know, this dry fitting, it's important to dry fit to see kind of where you want your card bases to go. And looks like this is going to be the best match. So I'm going to take this along here. Look at how straight of a line I'm doing. I'm terrible when it comes to a straight line. You know, I do have to laugh though. Every time I seem to do tutorials, I'm perfectly fine when I'm doing it all on my own and no one is watching me, but it seems like once I get on camera, everything that I thought I was doing right just isn't working. So I apologize if that happens. So I've just glued down this one side, and the reason why I wanted to do that is because I wanted to get it even. And what I'm going to do now is come back and put this other side down, because the first side is down, so I know that I'm going to get this evenly spaced on this side as well. All right, so we have our flap on that side, and you're going to see that there's a little bit of an edge down here. You can go ahead and you can cut that off if that makes you feel better, or you can leave it. Personally, I think I'm just going to leave it and see what it looks like as I go along here. So I'm going to do the same thing with this, this card, and I'm just going to match it up to the middle of this and come, oops, I moved it. Match it up to the middle of this, hold this down, glue this on. Now, the other thing to know is that you don't have to use craft cards or craft cards for this album. If you have black cards, you can use this. If you have cards that are bigger than 5 by 7, smaller than 5 by 7, it's still the same layout. The other thing is that if you want to make it bigger and chunkier, you can add other sets of envelopes, like another 2 set of envelopes, so that you're using 8 envelopes. Now the other thing is that I am just closing this down on the side. The top is open, and I may end up choosing to glue these top pieces later on. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I just want to see what happens first. So then we come to this next section. This is the section in the back. So I'm going to add my card to this section as well. And let's just put that flat, and then what this will do is this will give us another flap or flap section to the back of the folio that causes it to continue to flow. And if I need to, I can always come back in and do some more gluing underneath. If I feel like I didn't get it close enough to the edge, I can always do that. One of the things that's nice about this size of this page, if you can see this, there's enough room along here that it's not going to be hanging out of your mini album. All right, we're going to put this down. You know, I wonder if that card is, I'm going to pull this up. I think I may have folded this card a little bit off because it is laying down quite a bit off from what I had. Where's my... Oh, here it is. It's quite a bit off from the other side, so I'm just going to go in here and maybe fix that a little bit so that my scoring is a little bit cleaner. There we go. Whether it was me or whether it came that way folded. So then we come to our book, and we've got our book here and here, and then this is our fatter part of this this envelope folio. Yeah, there we go. And that's gonna fall down here. That'll come here. This will turn like that. This will go like that. That, turn that over, and we start all over again. So now you're probably wondering what's going to happen with these other cards. Well, with these other cards, most people will take and use 3 cards for this part. And I'm just going to show you what we're going to do is these cards will then go into the flip side where we cut off the bottoms of the envelope. Now, once we get the paper on here, I'm not sure if you can see that or not. I'll put this in here. We're going to be checking to see how far we can get this in, how far this fits. On some of them, I cut off, you know, just a little bit on here so that, because my glue came a little bit further, because what's going to happen is that our pattern paper is going to close off this part of the envelope. So I'm going to put my cards in here. I've got that card. Then I have, oh, come on. This card fits on this side. Goes in like that. Can even it out a little bit. This flips over. And then we have a pocket here. So we could put a card in there or we could glue it shut. It's really up to you. Because if you want to glue that shut, then you flip this over and you've got this, but you still have a pocket right here. So you can put your 3rd card right in here. So you see, one of the things that I did on my mini or my never-ending folio is on the front page. This is my front page. I actually glued this, what I cut open, I glued it down so that I didn't put a card in there. But if I wanted to, I actually could take and put a card in here as well. Now you think, oh, that's great. I'd love to put all those pages in there. Think about how much, how many pictures you can put in, but it's a lot of pages when you think about covering it. It's 4 pieces of cardstock or designer paper. So I could put that in there, then in here, and then I put my one here, and then I have one on this side, flip this over. I could put another one onto this side. So now we have 5 cards. And flip that down, and then this flips over, and yep, we could even put another card right in here, there, and we've got our card here. So literally you could put 6 cards into this folio without counting these. So it's 9 cards really, because these are in the center for a hinge. You can do other things on this hinge. If you don't want to do a whole card in here, you actually could do this as, cut this in half and open this up so that you have 2 flaps on this side. There's a lot of things that you can do. I am not going to put this many cards in here because to me it's just too much paper and covering over too many. So I'm going to leave that one there, and I'm going to take this one out. So I'm going to leave 3, possibly 4. I'll see. This prototype that I did it with 4. So that's what I'm going to start off with, and we'll set up our book like that. So I am going to glue this down so that it is solid, and then we'll get started with putting some of the papers on here. So that's the basic construction, and you can do one of 2 things as far as closing it. You can close it with a magnet on here. You can go ahead and tie it with a ribbon. I chose to make my ribbon removable. It goes underneath this sticker. It's a sticker on some cardstock. I just liked the way that flowed. I liked with the thinner ribbon, I could wrap it around twice. It made it feel more like a traveler's notebook or a journal. That's the other thing is that if you want it to be the size of a traveler's notebook, what you can do is you can use the regular size envelopes, or like the slimline envelopes that have the flaps on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to end part of this right now. So one of the phrases is for your prize is, the phrase is, "You are the best." And then I will give you the other word that goes along with it in the next session. So I'll be right back. Thank you. Hi, so I wanted to come back real quick for this section and talk a little bit about my thought process in putting this album together. So at first I wanted to use my green artisan cardstock for the front of this and for a lot of the other items in there. And I think that it looks okay. I think it fits into some of the green in there. Don't like it too much with this green because it's almost a little bit bluey green. So then I went to look at my red, and my red is way too red. And I also looked at another green that I have, and the green was kind of an army green. And then I pulled out my black, and I've been doing a lot with colors lately and not a lot with my black. So I have, I'm going to use black, but I know I'm going to throw some of this green in there as well. So my three colors that I'm going to be using for matting is the craft, my green, which is the regular artisan green, and the black artisan cardstock as well. And if you've never tried artisan cardstock, you need to do yourself a favor and get yourself some, because it's the best cardstock and I love it. So then the other thing that I do in going through this collection is I frequently will take out all my cut aparts. I'll take a look at them, and there's actually quite a few in this collection. There is this set, which has a couple different sizes of cut aparts on here, and then there's ones that are the 4x6, and I'm not going to use these unless I use them for inside the album. But as you can see, because they're 6 inches, they are just too big for that, and I'm not going to put them that way. But I could put them that way if I wanted to tuck them in an envelope or a pocket or something. So I'm just holding it off to the side because I really like this pattern on the back. So I might cut out one of these or two of them for you know, for my mats, but I'm thinking about probably using some of this, or maybe using, you know, a 5x7 piece and then use the 3 on the other side for photo mats. So I'll put that off to the side, and then I've got some other ones that are the 3x4s, and there's some cute ones on here. I know I'm going to use a couple of these for my flaps inside the book, but I won't use all of them either. I will pick out maybe the 3 that I like best, and then so maybe right in here, these are 4 of them that I'm not crazy about. I like these across here, and I like this one, so we'll see about what I'm going to do with that. And then on the back of it is these trees, so I'm not in love with these trees, but I could use a cut out of that as well. And then I originally thought that I was going to do this there would be a 3x4. Or those other ones were, I think they were, no, were they? Yeah, they were 4x4s, I'm sorry. This is a 3x4. And I thought I would use one of these on my cover, but I'm not going to. I may use it for, you know, tucking into for a photo mat, or something like decorations. But if not, I like the back of this. I can use that for my book, but I'm putting that off to the side. I pretty much landed on the fact that I want to use this on the front of my book this time. I'm not going to do the same die cut. I am going to mat this on the front of here, and I may decorate it with some green boughs. But I really like that with the mantle and the stockings. So I then went to look at I then look at my pattern paper, and a lot of times I hear people say, well, oh, you know, I did this to the front because I didn't really have much pattern paper left. So one of the things that I always do, because the cover of an album is something I look at or I see the most. So I go through my paper to see on either side which ones are the ones that I like the best. I like this one because it's got a pattern, but it's kind of plain. This one's way too busy. I would never use that on the front. I would use this for something more inside. I love the black and white check. This one is nice, but it's a bit busy for the front. And we've got a spot. I'll use that in another spot. This is too busy for the front for me. This one as well. I like this one because I love the letter boxes, but I'll save that for another spot, and that as well. And this one would be great with that ephemera piece, but I don't really want to put this on the front. I was thinking about actually putting this on the front and then having this on there as well. So I am debating actually between this one, but I think it cuts too much of the stockings off, unless I did this cut apart with the Oh Christmas Tree. But I really like this paper. And what I would do is that I would also put behind this either a green, so to make it stand out, or the black around there. I may do the black, but I may do a green because I'm going to do a black around my cover. So we'll see when we get there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a little bit of this so that you can at least see the cover and see how I did with the cover. And then when I get back, I'll just show you that, and that'll be the end of this part of the tutorial. I will make a second tutorial for you that will show you the final product and show you exactly what I used and what I did. I probably will do it very similar to my prototype of my original because I really like the way a lot of that turned out. So I'll come back, show you the cover though, and you can see what I've done or gotten so far with that. The second phrase though that you need to add is thank you. So the full phrase would be the first part that I gave you before, and thank you. And if you add those into your comments, you will be entered in the drawing for that great G45 Halloween package, and that is sponsored solely by me and not by YouTube or Country Craft Creations. And I look forward to see who the winners are, but come back and just see the rest of this. It's only going to be a small part when I show you the cover. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in just a little bit. Thanks. Bye. Hi. So I got finished now with doing the front of my album for as far as I want to go. I could have left this open if I wanted to, so that you could tuck tags in or tuck tags underneath, but I put this up and over because I want to do kind of a spray down in this corner, but I'll do that last because I just want to get the papers in and it working and going. So as I go along, I'm going to do these next 2 pages, and I'll show you how I kind of go along and do this. I forgot to mention that I also have the 6x6 paper pad. Now this is 7 inches high, or 6 7/8 inches high, so that's where I will use pieces of the 6x6 paper and then mat off in different sections. So what I wanted to do in this front one is to just start off with regular coverage, and I want to show you how I'm going to glue that in, missing that around there. And then I'll eventually put a matte on there. And I probably will use black. I tried to use my the green as far as matting on the front cover, and I did not like the way it looked. So I probably am going to stick with my black all the way along. Sorry about that. And I am using my vintage photo around the edges, and it's not so much the white ones as it is some of the colored cardstock has a white core, and I don't like the way that looks, so I like to edge my papers. Ooh, shoot, see, look at, I'm doing this right away and not even doing what I should be doing. So what you're going to do when you put these down on the pages, this one, since we're going to be gluing it down, doesn't really matter as much, but you're going to glue around the outside and then just down this middle, or if you want to make sure you don't hit that, you can just go along here and just put your glue along here so that you're not closing this section, that section off. See, look at, I get on camera and then I do it, but I do have to say that I did the same thing a couple of times when I was doing the book before. So then we're going to just lay this down, balance it so that I have even edges all the way around, or as even as I can get them. The other thing that I checked when I did this is that when I close the pages, would I get stuck on anything, that it moved easily, and it does. And actually that's one of the things that's really nice about this album, is because it's the flaps and the cards, I find that it does move really well, and I don't really get caught into any of those sections. So then I took this piece of 6x6 paper, and I ended up just cutting this piece off. I'll put it off to the side, and I may use that in another page. And because this was busier, I wanted something that was a little bit quieter, and I'm going to end up putting this down onto my page, and I'm going to glue the whole thing all the way down. And I did do some distressing around the edges, not a lot, just enough to cover up the white core. And sometimes I like to do this upside down because I feel like I can see it a little bit better this way. And you can see on this page there is this little side along here from the flap, but it's not really that evident when the page is closed. So the next thing that I'm going to do is, because this would not be long enough, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to add some black cardstock to this so that I can add a little bit of a dimension on here. But I want to cut off, I'm not matching here. I want to make sure that I match with this piece. So I'm going to cut that little edge off. See if I can get that to match better. There we go. And then have a little bit of in between, but what I'm going to do with that is I'll show you the gold pieces that I'm going to be using are from my stash, and I've had them for a long time, and I think that this is just a great opportunity to use them. They're actually from Love from Lizzie, but so she's in the UK. It's not something that is local, but I love these peel-offs, and I use them in my cards, and I use them for other things as well. And it's just a strip that will go down and makes a nice divider on my page. one of two things. I can go all the way around with it, or I can go ahead and cut it off right here on the edge along with the other edges. Can't find my knife, otherwise I would use my little knife. Can you tell I'm shaky here tonight? So then that finishes that off, and so basically that is the colors that we're going to be doing for this book. We are going to have black as a part of an accent colors, and red and green, and then I just keep these extra pieces, and sometimes I can use them for other areas, and they are very nice. Now, if you don't have these, it's by all means you can use glitter cardstock in here. You can use regular cardstock and just cut a very fine piece, or an 1/8 of an inch piece, 1/16 of an inch piece, and just use it as a separator. So along here, I probably will come along and not sure what I don't like to do much decorating until I get to the end. So maybe I'll put Merry Christmas along here, this sticker, to add something to the page. You know, if we'll see. I'm not going to add anything right now until I get further along and see where I have things to put in that page. So that's our first couple pages, and then we'll just move on to the next one. And this comes in and out, and this is the page where you have to be careful. You can't glue in here, so take your glue and go around here, and just one strip down here, lay your pattern paper down, and then you still have this pocket in here for your card. And you can utilize your cardstock and your designer paper to stiffen up your album. I'm also going to go ahead and utilize this ribbon for this album again, like I did with the other one. And I probably will use some G45 tags and use that ribbon for the tags in there as well. Again, I got this ribbon from Country Craft Creations, and utilized some of my dies and things in my stash. So okie dokie. Well, that is it for me for this part of the tutorial. The finished walkthrough will be up on August 31st. I almost said July 31st. August 31st. So I wish you good luck on all the prizes. One for the Country Craft Creation. Tamara is giving away, I believe, 7 prizes, and for US customers only. And then my collection that I'm going to be drawing for, I will announce it on the 31st or the 1st. So make sure you subscribe, like this video, and put the secret phrase down into the comments down below, and to be entered into that drawing. Thanks so much. I really enjoyed being with you, and I can't wait to show you what this looks like on the 31st. Thanks so much.